We trust meat raised behind fences. But this one lived free. No labels. No certifications. No marketing. And yet, it enters the food system as one of the cleanest proteins on Earth. Millions of deer. Harvested. Processed. Packaged. Not for survival. But because the system decided it's necessary. So tell me. Is this food more ethical, or more honest? Fog lifts slowly from a frozen forest floor. A deer steps into the open. Every year, more than 6 million wild deer are removed across North America. Yet this meat, harvested without feedlots, hormones, or confinement, is often described as cleaner than beef raised under total control. The wild produces purity. The managed produces scale. Venison occupies a quiet but expanding space inside the global protein system. It supplies specialty processors, restaurants, export markets, and government-managed population control programs. Unlike beef, venison is not produced on farms at scale. It enters the food system through regulated wildlife management, controlled harvesting, and licensed processing. Most consumers never see this chain. The harvest happens far from supermarkets. The processing happens behind locked doors. Yet demand continues to rise as buyers search for leaner meat, traceable origins, and lower environmental footprint proteins. Across North America, white-tailed and mule deer thrive in forests, plains, agricultural edges, and mountain corridors. They exist where grasslands meet woodland. Where winters are cold. Where seasonal forage forces constant movement. Unlike cattle, deer are shaped by terrain rather than fences. They climb. They migrate. They burn energy daily navigating uneven ground and changing climates. This constant motion and varied diet directly influence muscle structure and fat composition long before any human intervention begins. Venison's defining trait is absence. Very little intramuscular fat. No artificial feed. No growth hormones. No antibiotics. Deer convert wild plants, browse, and seasonal grains into dense muscle fiber with low lipid content. This results in meat that is darker, firmer, and chemically cleaner than beef. Lower saturated fat. Higher iron concentration. Distinct mineral profiles shaped by soil and vegetation rather than formulated rations. The taste reflects movement, not confinement. There is no breeding program in the conventional sense. Deer populations are managed, not engineered. State wildlife agencies monitor herd size, health indicators, age distribution, and habitat pressure. Harvest quotas are set annually. Mistakes here are costly. Overharvest destabilizes ecosystems. Underharvest leads to crop loss, vehicle collisions, and disease spread. The source of venison begins with population control, not reproduction for profit. Deer grow without schedules. No barns. No feeding hours. No shelter infrastructure. Their space spans thousands of acres. Time is seasonal. Spring forage. Summer growth. Autumn fat storage. Winter depletion. Labor enters only at the moment of harvest. Risk is constant. Weather. Terrain. Stress management. Precision replaces repetition. Human systems intersect briefly with wild biology, then disengage. Modern venison supply chains rely on data rather than machinery. GPS-tagged harvest zones. Disease surveillance networks. Mobile cold chain units. Digital traceability from field to processor. Processing facilities use optical inspection, rapid chilling systems, and microbial testing protocols identical to export-grade meat plants. Efficiency gains are measured in minutes, not yield. The faster temperature drops, the cleaner the flavor remains. The critical moment lasts seconds. Precision determines everything. Stress elevates lactic acid. Delay degrades texture. Once harvested, carcasses are field-dressed immediately. Internal heat is released. Cold exposure begins. Transport is fast. Controlled. Silent. At processing facilities, skinning, evisceration, and breakdown follow strict timelines. Nothing is rushed. Nothing is wasted. Clean muscle enters refrigeration within hours. Venison moves through smaller, more controlled facilities than beef. Cuts are standardized but limited. Steaks. Ground meat. Trim for sausages. Vacuum sealing preserves structure. Modified atmosphere packaging extends shelf life. Distribution favors specialty retailers, direct-to-consumer shipping, and export partners in Europe and Asia. Volume stays low. Control stays high. Venison commands a premium. Often double the price of commodity beef. Production costs are lower in feed, higher in labor and compliance. Revenue is capped by biology, not demand. Unlike beef, scaling is impossible without ecological consequence. This scarcity sustains value. The product competes not on volume, but on perception of purity and origin. Venison raises unresolved questions. Is population control food or conservation? Why does commercialization pressure ecosystems? What replaces venison if deer populations fall? The system balances necessity, sustainability, and restraint. The margin for error is narrow. As winter returns, forests quiet again. Tracks vanish beneath snow. The cycle resets. Muscle becomes meat. Meat becomes food. Food becomes absence once more. The question remains: can wild systems continue to supply clean protein without becoming industrial themselves? If you want to explore more story,